Welcome to Liza's Painting Parties. I'm Liza and it's Wednesday night, so we have our free weekly live painting party happening. We'll be starting in about 5 or 6 minutes or so. Just want to make sure everyone is able to jump on and join in. Tonight is really special because we're going to be doing a mashup of 2 of the options from this past week. Someone had suggested it, I think it was Sylvia if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong, of combining a component from option 2, which was the actual full-on winner. This is the actual one that did win. No, sorry. The wildflowers were the ones that actually won. My bad. Sorry. So we're going to combine the sky from this picture with the wildflowers from this picture. So that's what we're going to do this week, which is a first. We normally just try to recreate one of the images that win, but I thought that'd be a really cool idea. If you really just wanted to paint this one with the clouds and have the kind of the monochromatic vibe with it, it's not really fully monochromatic, but just like very like minimal colors, you can definitely still do that and just stick with the blues and the yellows and the whites. It's totally possible. Or once we get to the point where we're going to put all the flowers in and whatnot, you can join me and we can make it look all bright and wild and fun. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to start off by, we're going to do the sky first. And the way we're going to be doing that is we're going to start right at the back, very far back with some blue. So if you want to get some blue and some white on your palettes, feel free. I won't be doing that just yet. I'm going to go through a little bit as to what supplies I have and a few other things. But that is what we're going to be doing today, a cool mashup. So as you're joining in, please feel free to say hi, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to hear from you. I'm here in Ajax, Ontario, which is outside of Toronto, and we had a bunch of snow today because why not in April? But yeah, it's almost gone now because the sun kind of got rid of it, which was kind of nice. But let me know how you guys are, how the weather is where you're at. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. We're still in lockdown. I'm not sure about any of you guys too, but it's been kind of fun that way. But yeah, so in terms of our supplies, if you're joining me, we have canvas. I'm using an 11 by 14, and I'm going to be using it this way in a portrait standard. But again, you can do it however you want. If you have a smaller canvas, it's fine, a larger one, or if you want to make it into a landscape, that's totally fine too. It's whatever you prefer. Again, anyone who hasn't joined me before, whenever I paint, this is the first time, and especially in this situation where we're going to be doing a full-on mashup of the 2 paintings, but I haven't done this before, so you'll be joining me with my first attempt at going about it, and I'll walk you through how I would approach recreating this mashup piece. And if you have any tips or tricks or anything that you'd like to share, please feel free to make a comment and share it with everyone. I love the collaboration that we get on here, so please let us know. In terms of other supplies besides the canvas, I have paint. So the paint that I use predominantly is 3 primary colors. So if you have blue, red, and yellow, and you have white and black, then you're able to mix any colors that you would want to make, basically. So if you have that, you're good to go. I use dollar store paint, so I don't do anything super fancy. It's just make it very quick and easy and accessible for everyone to be able to join in. I also have some containers of water. Acrylic is water-based, so that will let us clean off our brush as well, and sometimes we can use that as well to try to like spread the paint as well. We have paper towel, I have my palette, and brushes. So I suggest usually to have 3 different brush sizes. So if you have a large brush, a medium brush, and a fine point brush, those are the 3 that I suggest, and I suggest it really depends on what canvas size that you have and what you're going with. So I don't really say the sizes, but if you're doing 11 by 14, the ones that I'm using, this is a size like 10, and it's like a flat big brush just to give me lots of big coverage when I'm doing this. This one is a 2 is my medium size brush, but again, sometimes I use a 4, just doesn't really matter. Again, it's a really like flat one. And this one's a fine point one, and this one happens to be a 4 as well, but this point is a lot more, I can control it a lot better. So I really like it. There is ones that are a bit finer, but I find this one at least holds more paint, and it gives me a nice fine point. So I've been digging that. But yeah, so those are the ones that I'll be using today. So yeah, so if any of you cannot join and actually paint right away, this will be available so you can watch anytime. So you can watch it on my Facebook channel, Liza's Painting Parties. I will be up about an hour or two after the live is complete, or you can watch it here on my Facebook page as well under the videos tab. I won't be taking it down, so you can join in and watch whenever you so desire. All I ask is if you join in, I'd love to see your paintings, so snap a picture and send it to me because I'd love to check that out. Now, I'm not seeing any comments, so I don't know if no one's commented or if I had a bit of an issue. My camera was being a little bit funky when I first jumped on and like didn't let me connect properly. So it's making me feel like there's some technical stuff going on. But if you guys can see me, it looks like there's just a bunch of you watching, so that's good. As long as you can see me. If you can't, or if you can't hear, or if something's kind of strange, just let me know. If someone wouldn't mind commenting, that'd be kind of good, just to make sure. I want to make sure it actually is showing up for me, because I feel like it might not be. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get started momentarily. Yeah, see, I think it says there's 10 comments and I can't see them. Yeah, 11 comments. So it looks like, so I can't read your comments. What is going on today with technology, people? Oh, wait. What? So confusing. Here it is. Sue, hi. Vonda from Montana, awesome. Sue from Belleville, awesome. You have some snow in Vermont, Denise. Okay, I found the comments. They moved them. They're not in the same spot they were before. I'm not good with change. I'm a little bit of a control freak. Okay. Hi, Lynn. Oh, you're in, oh, nice. In Arizona, it's sunny. Fantastic. And Lisa's in Wisconsin. Doreen. Oh, you guys are amazing. Perfect. Ruth's back. I'm so happy you're back, Ruth. Yay. From Puerto Rico. I'm glad you're here. Sylvia. Awesome. I think it was you. You were the one who told me about to smash this up. So I'm really happy about that. In Vancouver. That's fantastic. I heard it's really sunny there and like 24 or something. So I'm super jealous. And Denise says everything's good. Everyone can hear me and stuff. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay, I found where the comments are. So that's good. So I'm going to just leave it right there. And I'm going to have to just move this. I'm going to move my camera view so you can see that a little bit more. I'm creating some nice shadows today, aren't I? It's not so great. All right, so let's do it like this. Okay, now that I can see your comments, which is great, just keep me in the loop if you need anything or if anything becomes wonky, and I will keep an eye on them as we go. Okay, so first step to this painting is that we're going to paint that blue in the background. We're not going to worry about putting in all these clouds and all this prettiness yet. We're just going to focus on getting just the blue, straight up blue in the background, okay? So this blue's a lighter blue. So depending on the paint you have, I have like one that's called Tropical Blue. I only have 2 blues left and I need to get some more. But my Copenhagen blue is very dark in comparison. So I think for this purpose, I'm going to use my like tropical one. I don't know if you can see the difference on there. But that one's like way lighter. And then we have the Copenhagen, which is like way darker. So I think I'm going to use my tropical this time and see how it goes. But go with whatever blue you have. And if you have one that's a bit darker, you may just need to lighten it up a little bit. Right, Krista? Who did steal our spraying? It's rude, man. I can't believe it. I don't think it should last long, but who knows? Everything's been so strange. Okay, so I just plopped on quite a bit of blue. Ooh, that's quite a bit of blue. So you got that there. I'm going to put a little bit more. This one is a very light blue. I don't know. I may want it to be a bit darker. We'll see. All right, I'm going to get some white. Oops. There we go. On my palette too, a little bit. And I think I will put a little bit of yellow. I don't know if I'm going to use that yet, but I'll start that. And I think I don't want to use my black right yet. I'm going to opt to use my darker blue. If you don't have that option, like if you don't have 2 blues, which I didn't say for you to have 2 blues, I would either use your blue and then lighten it a little bit, have it lighter and have it a little bit darker with the black. But since I have this darker one, I'm going to use it. Otherwise, I would have put a little bit of black, maybe to darken it. I'm not exactly sure. It's a little tricky. The black can be super powerful, so it's always a little a little scary to use that right off the hop. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is we're going to think about how big the sky is going to be. So this picture to this one, there's a couple of different key things to it. So if we're going to try to mash this up, my thought process is, okay, what's going to be the focus? So when I look at this picture, to me, the focus is the sky and the sun coming, and it really kind of emphasizes the clouds, right? The flowers are kind of secondary. In this picture, the flowers are definitely what's in the foreground, but there is a lot of color happening in the background. But they're also a lot bigger and they take up a lot more room. So I think the way I'm going to approach it is I would still like this emphasis to be on this really bright sunshine behind the sky, because I really like that. And I think I want to keep those wildflowers lower, even though they're going to be brighter. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So I'm still going to have the sky being the majority of this piece. So I'm thinking about like almost like 3/4 of the whole piece. So only about like 1/4 of it's going to be like the grass with the flowers. Might even be less than that, to be honest. So I would say for whatever you want your sky to be, whether you want to go my route or not, it's up to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to wet the canvas with water. So I'm going to get my big brush and I'm going to get water. And I'm just going to wet the canvas with water. And what this is going to do is this is going to make it easier to get our paint, our first layer of paint on the canvas. And this first layer really is in the background here. We're going to be building a lot on top of it. So it's more just to get that blue on there. So I'm just going to keep putting water. This particular canvas board I'm using is a little bit different than the one I had last week. I don't know where this one's from. I don't know if it's from the dollar store. It feels like the water's going on a little bit differently. What I'm looking for is I want there to be enough water on here so that it's wet, but it almost looks, I don't know about this canvas. We'll see how this goes. If you have like regular canvas, then it should be fine. It should be soaking in and doing a good job. If you have a canvas board or a cheap canvas board like me, we may have to be a little bit more flexible and play a little bit more. Okay, so I want it to be wet. I don't want it to be soaked. And so this canvas is kind of tripping me up a bit because I feel like I need to put more water, but then I also feel like I need it to be a little bit drier. Going back and forth today. No way, Vonda. She says in Montana it can still snow in June depending on the altitude. What? Guess it depends. I mean, we definitely had snow in April before, but it's so late. And it felt like we hardly had any snow this year. So it was very, like, rude for it to come at this point. Okay, I'm going to start with the blue, that really bright blue that I might want to tone down a little bit. And I'm just going to start to put it on. Wow, that is bright. That is like it's a boy blue. It's like super bright. I don't know if I like that. Look at it in your face. Okay, so now that it's wet, I'm going to be putting it. Yeah, this canvas is really strange. This one it's already kind of drying. So as you're doing this process, this should just be the background. I still feel like this is very bright and almost like too light. I'm going to start putting some white in it too, because I just feel like it's a little too in my face. So with this layer, this is just to get that background in place again. So it's really a matter of starting to get your first layer of paint on. So don't worry too much about it being perfect. All I'm looking for when I'm doing this part is I want to have coverage on my canvas. So I want to get good paint coverage on my canvas. I'm trying to start to get the main color focus. So that's why it's bothering me a bit that it's so bright blue, which is why I'm toning it down with the white. Because I want it to be a little bit paler than that. I'm just kind of going, I'm just adding, basically I'm adding that bright blue and then I'm blending it into the color I want more. And for me personally, I'm happy with it being a little streaky and having a bit of lighter areas and darker areas. Okay. It's not like showing me new comic. It's very frustrating. There we go. Okay, there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to put a little bit more water. Because it totally dried up entirely. Just going to add a little bit more so I can bring down the paint a bit. Put a little bit more of these streaks of this bright blue. I'm going to tone it down with that white. Oh yeah, I want to put some yellow in here too. So I'm not going to put yellow on top of the blue because it's going to become green if I do. I made a bit of an error there because I wanted to make it a little bit more yellowy here, but that's okay. What we'll do is I'll wait till it dries. It seems to be drying fairly quickly. Once it dries out, I'll add some yellow just to keep it yellow and not like weirdly green. But yeah, I think I'm digging it more now that I toned it down. I think that's good. How many cats are hearing the bird sounds? Yeah, I do have bird sounds going on. So for those of you who've heard this before, you already know why I have some nature bird sounds going on. But normally I'd love to play music, but there's a bunch of copyright laws that prevent me from doing so. Not in a live show. I think in a live show I'll be able to, but because I want to keep these up so you guys can watch them whenever you want, I can't use copyright music and record it and then redistribute it. So my alternative, because I still like to have some kind of sound in the background, is nature sounds. So far, no one's given me any copyright notices on birds chirping. We'll see if I get one at some point. So that is what is up with that. And that was inspired by, like, there's usually a lot of birds chirping outside my window in this room. But it's, like I mentioned you guys earlier, it was snowing earlier, so it's quite cold. I didn't open the windows. It's so annoying. I really dislike that the comments are on this side now. It's like throwing me off significantly. Anyways, I'm glad I found them though. I was losing my mind a little bit. Okay. Wonder if Mercury's in retrograde. Probably. That's always what they say when technology goes down or is funky. Okay, so right now what I'm doing right now is I'm going to wait a little bit, I think, until this dries so that I can put some yellow, and then I'll have to do a bit more blending at that point, but I don't want to do it yet because it's going to become too green and I don't want to go that route. But I think I may want to start playing a little bit with what's going on up here. So this is already starting to dry up a little bit. So we want this part to dry a bit more. I want to put in those rays, the sun, where I want that to live. I'm going to put in that next because everything kind of goes on top of that essentially. So I'm going to put that cloud and it's going to live on top of that sun ray. So my next step is still to put some yellow as soon as it's ready to start to do it. Cool. And for anyone enjoying the paint party, so everything I do, so I do these for free, and they're all available. This is my 61 paint party that we've done so far. I started it last year. It's been really, really great doing these with you. If you are interested in having your own private virtual party, direct message me and let me know, and we can figure out a really fun private party. You can do it over Zoom, and we've done a few of them, and it's been really fun. You can pick the picture that you want to paint, and we can do it all together. So if you're interested, let me know. And also, if you would like to, you can support me by buying me a coffee, it's called. So there's a link there, and you can leave a tip if you'd like, but no pressure at all. I'm just calling it out because a few people have asked in previous times about how to do that. So, and in Canada, we do not have Venmo, which apparently is like all the rage in the States, but we have apparently our banking system is a bit more straightforward from what I was reading, because we just do direct email deposits, but in the States you have a whole other system. Anyways, things that I look up now for real stuff. Lynn says canvas drying too fast is a big problem here in the desert. That is a really good point. Depending on your climate and even the room you're in sometimes, I find when my air conditioner is on and I'm near a vent in the summer, it kind of dries it out a lot faster, almost more so than the heat in the winter. I don't know why exactly, but yeah, I find that too. So it is definitely tricky, and because when it's wet, you can do a lot of nice wet on wet blending techniques in acrylic. Acrylic's a great medium because it's so versatile, and you can do great things when it's wet or when it's dry. But that can also make it frustrating too when you're first learning, because if it's drying too fast and you can't get the blend on fast enough, especially when you're nervous and you don't want to ruin it or something, you can end up missing that opportunity because it does dry very quickly. But the great thing about it is once it dries, you can pretty much paint right over it, and you can correct mistakes or fix, change it up entirely if you so desire. Okay, so I'm at the point now where this is good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to start by putting in, so I know I'm going to want a cloud happening. So I'm going to start putting in some streaks to get this sunshiny effect happening. So I'm going to go still with my big huge brush. I'm going to go right for my bright yellow, and I am going to just pull some lines up with it from a point, which we'll end up covering after. Okay, I might go back over and add some more. And I'm using my big brush, but my brush is very flat, so when I use it on the side, it gives me a pretty nice line. How far I want to go with this. I think like that. I think I'm just going to do it like that. A burst of yellow happening. That's good. I think I'm going to work it with like that, and then I'm going to put my cloud in and then play with it from there. That is the plan. All right. Okay, so when I'm doing my cloud, I'm going to just move to my medium brush, just so I have a little more control over it. I'm going to start playing with, I'm getting a weird glare, so it's hard for me to see that. That's okay for you guys. Okay, good. Okay. So I want to start playing with this cloud that's over on this side here. Okay. So clouds can be really annoying and frustrating, I find sometimes. What I would suggest is let's just think about it. Let's go to that. Let's just think about it as color and texture, and let's play with it that way. For me, if I stop thinking about it as a cloud, I tend to have more success in how it turns out. So when I look at this section here, I look at this and I see that there's a darker blue happening. There's a little bit of lighter here, and then it goes into a yellow. None of it is a like straight line. It's very like fluffy, which I almost don't want to use that word because that sounds like a cloud. And so it might be a little tricky because even with this brush, it's very straight. So if you have like a sponge, that could be cool too. So definitely if you want to try something else, I'm not going to use a sponge. I'm going to do it with the brush just because I like things to be harder, I guess. No, I just don't have a sponge close by. So what I'm going to do is I want to start with a bit of my darker blue, I think. And I'm going to just add it to my brush. I'm using that like that Copenhagen blue. And then I'm going to just start putting in a bit of a formation of some sort. Just like dabbing to get kind of an idea of where this guy's going to live. Okay. And right away when I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, this looks nothing like a cloud, and that's okay. So if you're feeling that way, it's fine. And we're just going to build from there. Okay, because as we add more layers and more to it, it will give us what we want, give us that shape. So I'm trying to make it more organic. I tend to, when I do this, I tend to almost be like a stamp, and I kind of like use my brush the same way the entire time, and that's not natural. Not in the cloud. Maybe in other things. But this doesn't work for what I want. Someone like hit a door in my house and it sounds like my whole place is shaking. Okay, so it looks kind of weird, but we're going to put some more clouds and more little shapes going on. Linda, hi. Got late, trouble with blurred vision. Oh, 2 cataracts. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely watch them whenever you're able to do like little sections. You can like stop and start the video. I'm glad that you'll be able to do that later. Yeah, hopefully I have your surgery soon. Oh, anything to do with vision, like, that scares me so much. I wear glasses, obviously. I tried to wear contacts when I was a teenager, and the thought, like, to have to, like, touch my eye, like that, ugh, I can't do it. So I've just decided that's it. I'm just going to wear glasses my whole life because I can't get over the idea of touching my eye. The eye doctor had put them in my eye. I guess they're, like, trying to upsell and be like, oh, it's a great idea. So he had put them in, and that was an ordeal. But then I had to take them out at home, and I don't even know. I think it took me like 2 hours, and I was like, no, this is never happening again. I can't deal with it. Okay, so what I did was I'm putting in a little bit of white into that darker blue because I wanted to start. I should have probably done that first. I'm not following my own advice. I'm going to put in another cloud kind of behind it, which, yeah, see, that's why. You're supposed to do with things behind first. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to, but it definitely makes it easier. So I'm just going to put another formation around here. I think when we add some yellow to these clouds, we're going to put a little bit of a highlight on them to kind of make it look like the sun kind of kissed it. It's going to look really cool. But that won't be for a little while. We gotta build these clouds up a little bit. And, well, I'm just gonna go right into it and then I'll have to redo the line afterwards. I want that cloud in the back. Maybe for this one I should use my bigger brush. I don't know. Kind of giving me a hydrangea vibe. I read your mind, eh? Yeah. The sunburst looks more white, does it, eh? Yeah, here it's showing on, it's hard to see. I don't know if you can see mine too well. If not, yeah, definitely take a look at the inspiration image. It definitely has, it's definitely yellow on that image. But white could look cool too. Again, this is just what we're gonna go off of, right? So we might try some other approaches and that might work really nicely too. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine or the same as the original ones. It can be whatever we want it to be. I'm thinking I should use a bigger brush. It's gonna take me a while. Back to that blue. I'll put my line back in. Okay, let's see. Now, let's put in a little bit of a lighter blue cloud in front of this guy. So I'll put in so all I'm doing is just getting a bit of a lighter blue and I'm just again dabbing my brush and again trying to not make it look like a stamp and just moving it a little bit back and forth just so I have it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, and then this one's going to come out too, but it's going to come up a little bit. Otherwise it's going to come out. And kind of just goes out like that. Okay. Not too bad. Looks like a big like rain cloud happening. It's working out though. Oh, thank you, Linda. I keep second guessing if they're looking good, so thank you for saying that. I feel like, oh, is it a bit too weird? I don't know. No, I think they're working okay. I'm trying to make it a little bit lighter on the edge of my... Don't want them to be dark though. Let's get some other ones on there. Okay, so let's keep going with these clouds. We got some more happening. Okay, I'm gonna put another one like here-ish. Now I want it to be defined. So if it's still wet behind, you might have to wait until the first layer of cloud dries before you put the next bit in. Because then otherwise it's not going, it's just going to blend basically. So when all the paint's wet, then it just kind of keeps blending into each other and then you're not going to see the definition. Right? If you're doing it when it's wet, you kind of are wanting that blend to happen and it to look more smooth. So just keep that in mind as you keep adding your clouds. Just adding a bit of a line underneath it too, to kind of like drift off. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Alright. Oh, I'm getting like weird ads. What did Facebook do to this interface? Okay. Sorry. I clearly did some kind of update. So like my comments are in a weird section, and then I had like a weird like update pop up, and I don't understand. It seemed like it was important, and then I read it and it was absolutely not. Okay, where else do I want another one? I guess I want one like over here. So it's gonna kind of come up, but then it's gonna come out. Okay, so again, I'm just choosing another color, kind of like another kind of darker-ish one. Just differentiate it from the other cloud that lives just behind it. And I'm just gonna create some more little peaks. Again, the same thing. I'm just basically dabbing my brush and then just like moving it so it's not like a stamp. And then I'm again trying to, as I'm doing the cloud, like I'm just trying to make it go up and down a little bit so it's not super uniform. Okay, so I'm going to go back. That's kind of the top of my cloud. Just fill it in a little bit. I kind of want to put a line for the base just so I know how far I'm going. I think with this one I'm going to kind of go like here. Cool. So now I'm going to just fill it in. This one kind of like peters out in some lines. Maybe I'll just continue doing that on the side here. I'm not sure. I'll just play with it and see what happens. So instead of doing those squishiness, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go back to that crazy peacocky blue and see what happens. I'll make it a little bit lighter. Putting little streakies in the sky. I'm gonna go back and put some more up here. Ah, I think that was a little too much. Oh well, maybe it's a weird cloud. It's fine. We'll just make it work. Alright, that works. So far, so good. So weird. Clouds are weird to me sometimes. Okay, let's look at it from a bit afar and see what I like and what I don't like about it. Okay, so I think I want it to be still a little bit darker, this cloud. Oh yeah, maybe I should clean that brush a little bit first. Okay. That helps. Okay, now let's get my darker blue. I'll just put a little bit more. I want this one to be a little bit darker than what it is. I'm going to bring this out a little bit more because I want to cover the sun up a little bit more. A little darker. I think that's good. Alright, and then just going to add a little bit of a highlight here just to make it look a little bit brighter. Slightly. Okay, cool. I think that's good for now. Alright. I'm just going to emphasize the sky a little bit more too. Okay. I think that's working all right. All right, so we gotta do our Oh, thank you, Kathy. That's really sweet. I really appreciate that. This would be a great picture for any kind of flowers. I agree. So again, don't be limited to doing just like doing this one or to doing the wildflowers. I think with the wildflowers we can really play with the color and everything's just gonna like pop really beautifully. Or we can, again, you can kind of keep it more with the same kind of color tones and this is a really cool picture. I'm really happy that so many of you like this one too, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Whenever I picked the images for the week, I'm never sure how people are really going to be into it. And I've tried like some different ones, some kind of like more abstract ones, and some just more traditional images. And it's interesting to see what everyone's into. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I want to start building this up on this side here too. So from the way it looks like to me, it looks like the dark blue is more in the background here, and this is on top of it. So I think I am going to start with that dark blue on this side here. So let's do that. I need more on my palette. Are my blues more grayish blues or turquoise blues? That's a good question. I would say that this Copenhagen blue one is definitely more of a gray blue, which is why it does have more of that gray tinge to it, where I think this tropical blue, this one seems to have more of a turquoise vibe to it. Okay, whoops. Just got a big glob of paint that came out of my paint tube. My cheap paint dries up. I don't. So this one we're doing today, Kathy, today we're doing, it's going to be both. So it's going to be the background of this one, and I'm going to add the wildflowers to it. This is the mashup of today's painting. So I don't have a wildflower one just like that. I have some other ones with different type of flowers in them. I don't have a bunch of wildflowers though, not that I can think of. Okay, so I want this blue again to kind of have this like, let's see, how am I going to do this? Let's just start and see what happens. Okay, so I'm just going to put little flicky motions back and forth. And I'm going to bring it down. Kind of get like the pattern line going here. With a darker Copenhagen blue. Want this guy to come down and get off the page there. Get some of this blue in here, and then we'll play a bit with the texture. I do want this to be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. And I might have to wait till it dries and then darken it up like I did that guy. Okay, so I have this weird mass going on here. Okay, so now I'm going to put another one beside it, but I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to add some white to my Copenhagen blue, which makes it kind of like a gray blue. And this one, so it's going to be like on top of that guy, but I'm not going to do that yet. I just want to put in some of this coloring first. And then I'm going to bring it into putting it on top of that east of a cloud. On top of this side. Okay. Interesting mass going on there. There's a little bit lighter. When I look here, it's a little bit lighter, kind of where they intersect. So I'm just going to get a little bit of white and just add a little bit of like fluffy white dabs. This area here, and maybe here too. Putting it into the other colors that's like in there. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to continue to bring that up and around up here. And then I'm going to make a little bit of the sky still showing behind it. Bring it out more. Cover this in this kind of gray color. Gray blue vibes. And there is some coming in even over here. So I'm just going to bring this over and attach them. Okay. And then I also want to put in, I have to wait a little bit until it's, yeah, you know what, I'm going to wait a little bit until it's more dry, and then I think I'm going to put in a little bit more white and just make it look a little bit better. We'll see how that goes. Clouds are an interesting phenomenon. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with white. I'm just going to do a little bit on this. Yeah, actually it's already dry enough that the light will take, so I'm just going to add a little bit like that to this mask here. And we'll make it a little, change the value a little bit. Okay, not too shabby. Looks kind of like a weird explosion happened on that side. And a little bit more on this side. Okay, so this cloud behind here has a little bit of lighter. Just going to put a little bit of lighterness there. That's good. Okay, I'm just going to put this brush down. Okay. I'm going to get some of the yellow. And I'm just going to start dabbing a bit on my cloud areas where the sun would kind of touch it a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, kind of the same thing on this guy here. I'm just gonna go around the edges of my cloud and just put a little bit of sun-kissed goodness into it. And it kind of goes a little bit. That one like that. So this yellow that's like touching the clouds, I'm painting it just outside of the cloud line. So like on the actual sky, I'm putting a little bit more because it's like the sun is so bright that the cloud itself, that's still part of the cloud. The cloud's just yellow instead of that bluish, whitish color. Cool. We got that going. So I still want to put another cloud here, so I'm going to do that next. Oh, I put my fingers in blue paint. That is better than the computer or any other electronics or in my coffee. Okay, all right. Ooh, let's not spill that. All right, I want to put in this kind of cloud that lives here-ish. So that guy is a little bit medium blue. I'll pop him up here. And I'm gonna come there and probably join that side of things. Okay, I think with the same blue, I'm going to put another one in. Where? I don't know if I go over there, but I think I want to put one in like here. I'm just putting in like a line, but like, as far as honest, I want this cloud to go more or less. It kind of like dissipates into a few like little lines. And then just putting in the fluffness of it. Okay. And I'm going to put another one like behind it, like here. I want it to be lighter. A little bit lighter. Doing it. Make sure it's clearly in front of that other guy. Okay. Almost reminded me of when we do like water and I'm putting these little lines in the sky. I think those are the cloud lines. I think that's all I like it. Alright, I also want to make it a little darker in this belly of this cloud. Okay. And then I want to use some white. Just like highlight some of the edges of this cloud. And I'm just kind of blending in the white a little bit into the cloud as I move into the center of it. Okay. Those are looking nice and fluffy and more dense. Okay, cool. What else? We want to put in a little bit more of that yellow highlight, I think. Some of those clouds that are closer to the sun. Let's do that. Let's get a little bit more yellow. And then on this guy, I'm just going to touch it slightly. A little bit. Nice. That's pretty. Okay. And then on this one too, I'm just going to touch it a little bit. The yellow. Cool. Oh, no way! Kathy says she's half Portuguese and she has cousins in California with the last name Mendonça. I also have cousins in California. Isn't that interesting? I don't think they're Mendonças, though. I think the cousins in California that I have are from my mom's side. I don't remember what their last names are. It's not very family of me. But that's funny. You recognize my Portuguese-ness, eh, Kathy? That's pretty cool. Yeah, my family, my parents are from the Azores Islands. It's like a group of islands in the middle of the Atlantic. And they're from one island in particular. There's like 9 islands, and the one we're from is called Flores, which is like, it means flowers in English. It's a very small island. Super, super beautiful. A tiny plane to get on there. I want to put another cloud. I feel like I want to put another cloud, but I think I need to put some yellow on here before I do that. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I need to get a bit more yellow happening. Let's do that. Okay, so let's clean that up. Oh, no way. She says our grandparents came from Madeira. That's awesome. The islands are gorgeous. Have you ever been there, Kathy? Love to go back there at some point. Who knows when, though? Okay, I'm going to just wet this down a little bit because I want to get some yellow happening. Let's do it. I'm just going to throw yellow. I put some water, and I'm just going to go with yellow, and it's going to look a little greenish. That's okay. I'm going to go with it. How to get the sky going from this blue into a yellow. So using the water will help blend it and allow you to kind of start putting it into the background where like we maybe should have done it a little bit earlier. But with water kind of helps. Spread it out a little bit more. Still want to use a little bit of white though. I think I want to put a cloud after on top of this. Okay. Just adding a little bit of white, so I want to make it kind of streaky. I like streaky backgrounds and stuff. I think I'm going to have my flowers and stuff come up over there, so it should be alright like that. I think. Let's see, maybe we'll cover it up. It's okay if the blue still comes through a bit. Okay, so there's my streaky sky. Definitely has a green to it, but it works out well. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and play with some of the clouds now that we have the sky. Definitely more the way I like it. Well, it turned out really cool. All right, so I don't really like this cloud that much, this one. I feel like it needs to look a little bit different. Maybe I need to put a bit more of a, I think I need to give it a little bit, put a little bit of white or something. I don't know. I'm going to add white to the edges and see if I like it more or what's going on. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's going to be the remedy. We'll see. If not, again, we have acrylic, so we can always paint over it once it dries. That's not what I want. I'll try that and then I'll see if I like it. Go back to that in a little bit. I just had a little bit of white and I just blended it a bit with some blues just so that it didn't look so strikingly different. So we'll see if I have to stop looking at it right now because still not liking it. And I think this cloud behind here, I still want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to touch it up slightly with some, the same color that's in that Copenhagen blue, but get it a little bit darker in certain spots. I think that is a little better, making it darker. So Pereira Gonzalez. Oh, no way. My aunt married a Pereira. We have Pereiras in our family too. We're from the islands. They're probably related somehow, Kathy. Realistically. That's why I was like dead set on like not marrying a Portuguese guy. Because I was like, we're probably related somehow. It like creeped me out. It's like, ooh. Because everyone's like someone's cousin, you know? I don't know. That's how I felt. Okay. On that note, let's continue and put another cloud on the side. Alright, I'm going to just get it a little bit lighter. Get kind of like a medium blue, kind of like this one. Alright, I'm going to put another one like here, I think. I feel like it's shining on me weirdly, so I can't really see what the color looks like. It just looks like wet paint. Okay, I'm just going to bring it up. There we go, now I can see it a little better. Okay. We'll get it a little darker and see if I can build off of that. Put one on top. I'm just gonna get some more white on there and just try to streak it out a little bit. Okay. Let me get to not be the same color. Alright. Okay. I think this guy needs to have a little bit of different color on him too. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put a few more of these like streaky lines in. A little bit like here. And a few more on this side here. Good. gonna go really low with my flowers and keep going with my sky, but I think I'm kind of sick of making my sky. I kind of want to start doing some flowers. Let me think. Let's take a look at our other image to see how, yeah, the background's just pretty much all sky, and then you got the flowers going on. Okay, I think I'd like to start playing with what this is going to be like. So I want to stick with kind of this idea of tall grass kind of view that this image has. So it has like, it almost has the same kind of bluish color all along the back and sticking out, and it gets a little bit darker as it comes to the front. I think I'm going to stick with that kind of vibe as the base, so that all of these flowers, I'll paint them on top of that. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to use my bigger brush, so my large one, to get more coverage first. And I want to get kind of like a light blue-ish. I don't want it to be super bright. I want it to be kind of that gray blue that I had. So I'm using that Copenhagen blue with white, dull it down. Okay. I wonder if I'm going to need more paint than this. That's not enough. Okay, 1 second. Let me just get myself some more white. Okay. So first, let's just wet the rest of this down so you can get coverage fast and easy. So now it has water and a slight bluish wash to it. Okay. And I'm just bringing my brush from the bottom to the top because it's already kind of dirty, but it's going to kind of give that impression of stuff in the background already happening. Okay, so now I'm going to get that color I had before, which is like a bit of a lighter Copenhagen blue. Kind of like that, and I'm just going to bring that up. It's just going to give the impression of a bunch of like a field of some sort. Little things sticking out on the background there, and then we'll add more detail to it afterwards. So we got that as a first layer. And I definitely want more, but I have to wait until the water dries a bit, or else it's just all going to blend in together. I think I'm going to try, but I think it's a little too wet. Yeah, it's a little too wet. It blends very quickly. I'm just putting a little bit in to make it a bit darker on the front, but I think it is still too wet. Still going to darken it up a little bit. Not bad. I thought it was thicker. Okay. Okay, so that's the preliminary to get that vibe of everything going up there. No, I'm actually not, Kathy. I'm not in warm weather. She says that I must be in warm weather because she hears the birds. So the birds are actually my soundtrack on on YouTube. It's my nature soundtrack, because otherwise I would be playing some music for us to listen to, but I can't play music since it's copyright, and I want the video to be able to be accessible later, so I can't have that on a recorded video. I can't have actual music, so I need to have something in the background, so nature is my go-to. I know it actually was kind of nice and warm, and then it decided to snow today, so we had it a little taste of like nice warm temperatures, and then it was like, no, back to snow. One of those days. Okay, so I think what I want to do once this dries, I'm going to go in and put in start putting in some more specific lines just to get this grass kind of growing, I think. Or I might just start putting in the wildflowers. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. But it's already kind of giving me the impression that there's like a field of some sort that we're looking at. So I like that. Yes. Thanks, Linda. I'm glad you are. So at this point, if any of you wanted to stick with this image and wanted to continue painting this to make it look just like this, so like I said, yes. So my next step would be putting in some more specific lines to get that grass looking. But you'll see there's like little flowers and hints of yellow all over. So I would do those, like whatever flowers are going to be in your background, in yellow next. So I would do some straight lines of like a bit of a darker blue. Then I would go in and put in some of the background yellow. And then I would go in and put some more lines of dark blue that will end up crisscrossing on top of those yellows that you did. And then I would go in and put in the flowers the yellow flowers that are going to stand out more. So that's how I would approach that if you're going to stick or try to do this painting. But we're going to go into this one next, and we're going to be putting in some of those elements on this one. And I think I'm still going to put in a little bit of those lines, but at the same time, I'm not 100%. Yeah, I do want to put in a few of those lines in. I do. Okay, we're going to do that. Which brush are we going to use? Let us see. Maybe this one. So like my medium one. I'm just going to go with my Copenhagen blue straight on, and then just like I don't know if it's going to work too well yet because everything's still quite wet. Yeah. It's like too wet for the paint to stay on. But as long as I get this kind of feeling of, ooh, got windy. Some shorter ones back here. putting in to get that vibe of lots of so I got a feel going on there. I gotta figure out all the flowers we're going to be putting on. Dokes. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, so now let's go and take a look at the wildflowers that we're going to mash up into this picture. So now we're going to get some fun colors going on, which will be good. Just going to let this dry a little bit more before I attempt to add any other color on top of this. Just give it a moment or two. Like a hair dryer or something, you could always use that to make the drying process go by a little faster. I do not have that, so I'm just going to wait. Just cleaning up some excess paint I had too. Okay. Let's see. We can start putting in some, because some of them are going to be higher than the other ones. I don't think I want the flowers to go, I don't think I do. I don't know. Part of me, I don't know. I kind of in a way do want the flower to kind of go up. But maybe I'm going to start, I think, by putting them where they kind of land in this area here versus any higher. And then maybe I might add more as I go. Okay. So, yeah, okay. So for some of these stems, they're green, so you can use green, or you can mix blue and yellow together to get a green. If you want to for the stem, you could also alternately, again, just use a darker blue for the stem, or you could use brown. But I'm going to kind of play with like a stem that kind of pops up here. It's going to have that like reddish flower. So I'm also going to get some red out too. That is what I'm going to start off with. So, with a brush that you can get a nice, more fine point with, I suppose, I'm going to just put like here and then just bring the stem into this garden here. Maybe a little bit more. It's going to pop out that way. And I'm going to put another one like here. Okay. And then a leaf. Maybe we'll put a leaf on this one. Green like that. Okay. And then we have another one maybe here. Okay, so that's some stems, and then we'll put some flowers on them. So for those flowers, what? Just dropping stuff into my paint. Okay, so for those flowers, so this flower here, we're gonna get, my red paint is like super thin, so I'm probably gonna have to go over it a second time after. But this flower, I'm just going to bring a line down, and mimic it a bit like that. The bunch, and then it's going to come out a little bit shorter, closer to the bottom, and then it's going to flip out a little bit here and here. Ooh, I should have went out to in. Okay, and then just want to there we go. That guy looks cool. Okay, I'm going to do another one here. Okay. I'm seeing with my red, it's very thin. I'm going to have to go over it a little bit on the areas that the red goes on top of, like the blue or the green. Even the blue in the background here, I can see the sky behind the red paint, and that doesn't make sense. The red is supposed to be in front of it. So I'm going to wait until it dries, and then I'm going to put another layer on top of the red. It's not doing what I want it to do. Okay, and this one's going to go this way. Oh, 3 little red flowers just hang out on the field. That's cute. Okay, let's put in some other flowers. So I'm still going to go back and do that red. But for now, let's do some other ones. Okay. So we have some other ones on the side of there. And we have this cool thing on that side too. Okay, so let's go on this side here first. This kind of purpley flower. I think I'm still going to stick with the green stem for now. So this one's going to be a high one. This one's going to come up here. This one will come up to the sky. And its friend is going to be up here. I think. It looks like there's another like red flower that's the bottom here, but won't worry about that one yet. Okay, so I'm going to just have like this here and here for the green stems of those purpley guys. Okay, so purple, you want to mix blue and red, or if you have pre-mixed purple, it's fine. I'm going to see if I can use my pre-mixed purple because I'm pretty low on blue. So I'm going to use my pre-mix one for now until I get some more paint from the dollar store. Right now we can't buy like non-essential things, so I don't think I can buy it from the dollar store unless I go to like Amazon and buy it, but I don't really want to give them my money. Okay, so this one is interesting because it looks like I'm going to be using my brush to get the feeling of it. Okay, I'm going to start here. I'm going to just go like this. And then I'm going to make another one that kind of comes in like that. And then I'm going to go in like that. So I'm using like my actual brush to get that kind of petal vibe from this flower. Okay, so that's that one. It's not too bad. Okay. And then we'll do this one too. So I'm going to go straight down. And then we'll go like this. And like this. And then we'll end up putting a middle on them afterwards. Okay. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Jessica. Yeah, I'm really digging the wildflowers on this background. I think it looks really cool. So far, so good. Okay, I think with this purple, I'm going to put in some of those, like, I don't know what any flowers are called, so you're going to have to forgive me. But I'm going to put in this kind of, like, wispy thing in the background. So I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to just put, like, this little wispiness happening. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if that's a real flower or if it's a real wildlife thing. I have no idea. A little bit higher, maybe. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I'll put another one on this side, like here. Another one over here. Something like that. Looks kind of cool. I don't know what they are, but they're cool. Okay. I want to make it a little bit darker. I want to put a little bit of another color into here. So I'm mixing a little bit of that purple with my green just because I want it to be a little bit darker. And I'm just going to add a little bit into this purple. Just so that it's not just that same purple as my flower I just did. Cool. Okay. Then I want to do this kind of viney thing back here. Okay, so I'm just going to get purpley. So it's kind of like, gives me like tree vibes. And how it kind of hangs. Okay, so I put in that guy, and then I want to put in like little feelings of like those little like buds that are springing from it. So I'm going to use my thinner brush. I think I'm going to still stick with that purpley color that I have. Okay, and then I'm just going to make some dots, make some bigger than others and some small. Okay, I think that's good. I don't know if I want to put any more dots, I'm not sure. Maybe I do. I kind of want to add splits off that one. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, neat. Hi, Jody. Oh, it's okay. No worries. You can always paint along afterwards. No worries. Miss you, though. Glad you jumped in. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's turning out really nice. I really like it. And I think when you put these white flowers in, it's just going to go like boom and it's going to pop. And I have to remember too, I'm not actually done these yet, so I got to go back. And even my red ones too, I'm not done with them because they are not the way I want them to be. Ooh, what's happening with that brush? I don't like that. Okay. Okay, let's go back to my red flowers. And let's put in a little bit more, make them a little bit more opaque. Because they are very thin paint. Still not being as dark as I want it to be. That's okay. Okay. Now let's go over to my purple flowers. Let's get that middle spot in there. It's kind of like there's a bit of white on my red flowers too, actually. No, maybe we'll put that in too. Let's put in a little bit of white in here. Oh, it's kind of cute. That's nice. Okay, Let's go and do this same-ish, not really the same. We're going to put in a little bit middle in this purple. Dab a little bit of white in there. And I think I'm going to get my more fine brush with yellow. Just mix a little bit of yellow in here too. That's cool. Okay. Lots of purple. Okay, what else are we doing here? Right, the white flowers. Let's do that. Okay. So, the bright white flowers. So similar to the purple flowers, they have that kind of vibe. So I'm going to use, again, a medium brush and white. And we're going to play with them similarly that we did with the purple. So I'm going to get some white on my brush. Okay. And I'm just going to pick maybe, what big ones do we want? I want a big one like here. So I'm going to just go like this. This. So what is it, like 6 strokes into the middle? Like that. Okay, and then another one of the same size. I'm going to do one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That blue paint is coming through. Hold on, let me wipe that brush down. Do another one this size, like right beside it almost. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down here 1. I should start from the top down. Page, that works. Okay, I'm going to switch to brush just so I can do more of those. Do some that are smaller. So like a little one up here. Okay. Let's do a few small ones. That's pretty. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad, Kathy. Oh, Jody, you've been having issues. It's been pausing? Honestly, I had like such issues at the beginning of this session. So I'm kind of not surprised that it's being weird now. Alright, I want to put in, so on those yellow flowers, or white flowers, sorry, I'm going to put in like a little touch of yellow onto them as well, on the white flowers. This one is, I don't know, with that flower, I'm not sure with this one. Okay. And then I want to get that middle part on these. Just using purple for it. Oh, I think that's it. I got them all. Okay. I don't want to do something more with this vine or something. I'm not sure what. I'm just putting a little bit, I'm just touching it with a little bit of green. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I don't like just the way it is right now. Let's see. I think I want to add a little more color to that guy too. Maybe I'm going to go in with little I'm going to go with white. I'm going to add little white dots to this branch. I'm not sure. Maybe that's... along with the purple dots. Yeah, I think I like that more. A little. Okay. I think I will need something more in this corner. I don't know if I'm totally done yet. Maybe more of the white flowers. I'm really digging those white flowers. I think I'm going to put a little bit more. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to put a few more white flowers in there because I'm digging them. Another one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, oops, this is a 5er, 6. There you go. Yeah, actually that's fine. Yeah, I'll just keep that like that. Okay, I want to go back with, which one? This one was it? Okay, put some more white flowers on the side. A lot of paint on there. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I'm going to put the white in the middle, dot in the middle of all those. Yeah, I need to put some yellow on those ones too. Should have put this before the purple, but you know, leave it on the edge. See what happens. Try not to touch the purple in the meantime. There we go. Oh, I forgot one of the little purple dots there. There. Okay. Okie dokes. Alright, I think this is almost done. I don't know if there's anything else. I feel like it's still missing a little bit more on that side. Maybe I'm going to put a little bit, like another little like leaf or something here. A little bit, something kind of growing that we can't see on that side. A little bit of green in here too. A little bit of green in here. I think that's what I wanted, I think. Okay. I'm going to touch that up a little bit. Alright. Feeling pretty good about that. How are you guys feeling? I feel like I am done with that for now. Kind of want to add more red or something, but we'll just leave it for now. All right, so move it over here for a moment. There we go. All right, so thank you, everyone. Yeah, it is kind of fuzzy, eh? I feel like the quality is kind of weird today. I don't really know what's going on. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me on our weekly paint party. I hope you all enjoyed this session. This is our first mashup of the two different paintings. So I'm really excited that it turned out. Let's go back there. The way that it did. I hope you all enjoyed it. I can't wait to see your creation. So please snap a picture of it if you've joined in and share it. I'd like to take a look. I'd like to see how you guys have done your flowers and everything else. Again, on Saturday, I'll have 3 more options for you to vote on. And the one with the most votes by next Tuesday will be the one that we'll paint next week on Wednesday. So if you are interested, make sure you follow and you vote, and I'll see you all next week. This again will be available on the Liza's Painting Party YouTube channel and also on my Facebook page under the videos tab. And again, if you're interested in doing a private party, if you want to do your own painting party for your own like personal event or corporate or anything like that, let me know, and we can talk about what that can look like. All right, have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Have a great time. Bye.